Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Check, 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 check. Chickadee check, check. Chickadee check. Getting better? Getting better? Is it better now? Is it better now? Let's see.
Are we in business, fellas, ladies, gentlemen? I think we are. I think we are finally in business, right? What? Jess, it's your birthday? All right, we're singing, everybody. Happy birthday to you. Da, 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 da. No, I won't do the whole thing. Chickadee chick, 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 chick. Sibilance, sibilance. Does anybody remember that? Check one, sibilance, sibilance. All right. Oh, amazing relief to be in here. I am so happy that you guys stuck it out with me. We're going to have to do a little bit of an abbreviated agenda today, but guess what? Yeah, just keep going. I don't know. All right. Happy birthday, Jess. I am so happy that you have chosen to spend your birthday with me, us. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you, Jacqueline. Welcome in. Kathleen can hear me on LinkedIn now. I love it. I love it. I love it. All right. Okay. think you just got. Good morning, Mother. Good morning. Yes, Mom's in the house. I'm going to skip a few things. What do you guys want to do? We got to do the who's who, right? Team who's always here. Sorry, we'll skip my little monologue. We're going to talk a little bit, though. I am going to just quickly tell you what today's show is supposed to be about, which is seeing people clearly, not making assumptions, because history is filled with moments when misunderstanding leads to conflict, fear, and tragedy. There we go. That's the summary. That's the back of the envelope. All right. But let's do our who's who, because our who in the world, because we love to do that, and we need to catch up. Who's ready for a who in the world? Who in the world? This person is associated with a Japanese hotel that famously survived one of the most devastating earthquakes of the 20th century. Okay, your first semi-interesting clue, I think. I do think it's interesting. This person was associated with a Japanese hotel that famously survived one of the most devastating earthquakes of the 20th century. So that is your first clue. But we also want to do our, wait, that happened today. Other than Jess being born, not a tragedy. That's wonderful. But if I had known that, I might have done things a little differently. I don't want to bring everybody down on a happy birthday, but does everybody know what happened on June 8th, 1967? I don't. Was anybody around other than I know Roseanne was, but anyone else? I missed it by a few years. What did Jess say last night? I wasn't even last week. I wasn't even I don't remember whatever you said, Jess. Jerry Ginger, what's up? How you doing, buddy? You got a guess on our who in the world? Our first clue today was associated with a Japanese hotel that famously survived one of the most devastating earthquakes of the 20th century. First clue. And we're talking about June 8th, 67. Jerry maybe was there? I'm pretty sure. Yep. But it was something else that happened. There was something going on in the Middle East called the 6-Day War, 1967. And the USS Liberty was out there in the seas. Actually, it's just an information gathering ship, no weapons on board, not attacking anybody, but it was attacked. And shortly after midday, Israeli aircraft began attacking the ship. A U.S. ship sitting out in the middle of the ocean. Torpedo boats later joined the assault, and in the end, 34 Americans were dead. More than 170 were wounded. The ship was damaged and barely remained afloat. It just hung there, right? And of course, questions emerge. What happened? Why was the American ship being attacked? Was it mistaken identity? Was it negligence? Was it intentional? Lots of investigations ensued. Government issued statements. There's still conspiracy theories out there about it. But here is, while those debates continue, there's two things that remain true. One is that 34 families lost someone they loved, and that's an absolute tragedy. Young sailors who woke up that morning expecting just an ordinary day found themselves fighting for survival. And if you have a chance to read some stories of survivors and people, one sailor said, helping one another, he saw shipmates with their own devastating injuries that they later succumbed to, actually helping other people who were injured. Acts of courage, sacrifice, and determination. Those are amazing human lessons in this story. But also, the other is making sure you know what you're doing, not making assumptions, right? But we want to focus on those lives. I think that, my take on it was ultimately it was a friendly fire mistake where somebody in your another interesting side note. All right, we'll stop talking about the USS Liberty. If you've never heard of the USS Liberty, the story, I just think it's an interesting story. Obviously in these times of uncertainty too, it's interesting to see how things can go wrong and maybe learn from those lessons. But that was the point of the USS Liberty story. It is my grandparents' wedding anniversary. Oh, wow. June 8th. What year, Mom? 30 something? Do you remember? I don't remember. I don't know. 1930 something, whatever it was. My grandparents were amazing people. My mother's parents. I've talked about my danda before, my grandmother and my pop, my mother's father. Amazing influences, obviously generational influences on our lives. And we'll talk about some more. I think this is time for our spotlight, though. We got to keep things moving along. I forget 1940 exactly. All right. So it would have been there. I'm terrible at this math. 86th wedding anniversary. Okay. Wow. All right. Thanks, Mom. God bless you, Danda and Pop. We love you and are carrying on in your memory. Braver Angels. Yep, that's oh God. I'm a little out of sorts because of my audio issues this morning. But here, let's do it. We still got to hit it. I'll do a brief spotlight. Here's second food coming right up. Today's spotlight shines on an organization that's tackling one of the toughest challenges of modern life. How do we disagree? How do we disagree without destroying relationships? Braver Angels, that's what they are here to do. That's the mission. How do we help people see as human beings instead of the labels that we put on them? This organization was actually founded following the 2016 contentious elections, bringing together Americans with different political beliefs, backgrounds, and life experiences to engage in structured conversations designed to build understanding. Notice I didn't say agreement. I didn't say convincing. I didn't say fighting. I just said understanding. They're not trying to convince anybody of anything. The goal is just to make people listen better, ask better questions, and remember that there is a real person sitting across from the tables. Absolutely. And here's the thing, Braver Angels, they go into all kinds of contentious situations, willing to enter spaces that people avoid, because it's easier to just be kind to the people who already agree with us. The real test of kindness is what happens when we encounter someone who sees the world differently. Can we stay curious and respectful and as a human? Absolutely. Today is all about seeing clearly and remembering that it's just about understanding. It doesn't require agreement. That is today's spotlight. The Braver Angels. I didn't scroll too much on their website, but check them out. All right. Hustling through to clue number 2. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Clue number 2. See if this gives us a little bit more of a clue. Remember, our first one was about the Japanese hotel that got destroyed. This person was involved in that. Here is our second clue. They also proposed redesigning America so that every family could own a single acre of land. So they're involved in design, designing buildings. They proposed America having a different family that would have had its own acre of land. There we go. That is clue number 2. I'm trying to make them a little. Was one of the principals a journalist from New York Times? I don't know. I don't know. I was typing. I don't know. Why do I have to type that? I don't know. We can look at it a little closer, Mom. I just like the mission. Maybe taking a closer look at the ideas of, Mom, you and I have talked about that. Differences of people. People have differences. We've lived through a lot of differences in our lives, right? And figured out ways to get through them. And I just think that's really important. All right. Let's change the subject. Kathleen, I got you stumped. If I'm making them too hard, I really don't mean to make them so hard. I do like to challenge, though. So if they're too hard, maybe I could scale back. But I know that people are familiar with this person who was involved in the design of buildings. Oh, Jess has a guess. All right. I'll get to the third clue. Then you can throw your guesses. You can guess anytime you want. I'm not revealing it until the end. But I want to get to this one because in my research today, because this was fun for me, I was like to look at what happened on these days. There's resources to do that and whatever. I discovered something that I did not know. A Gen X, you know me, I love my Gen X pop culture trivia. Here's one to lighten it up a little bit. All right, I'm 12 years old, June 8th, 1984. A few extra dollars in my pocket, maybe. If I don't know, not really, but no. Here's the idea. You open up the newspaper. Remember opening up the newspaper? What movies? What time are they showing, right? Or movie phone, that Seinfeld episode. And now you've got a choice. A choice of 2 movies. Maybe you didn't know it on June 8th, 1984. 2 movies that have become iconic in Gen X, for Gen X. Iconic, both sci-fi type adventures, Ghostbusters and Gremlins, excuse me. Pretty iconic movies, both released on the same day, mixing comedy, science fiction, supernatural adventure, and endlessly quotable dialogue, right? Of course, that's Ghostbusters. And then there's that cute little family movie about those cute little gremlins. Aren't they so sweet? Oh no, dark, a little scary, and a little weird. Perfectly tailored for the sensibilities of Gen X kids who are growing up with equal parts optimism and chaos. Absolutely. And those 2 movies showed us that life gets messy, chaos shows up unexpectedly, but rules matter, friends matter, and showing up matters. For Gen X, June 8th, 1984 wasn't just a movie release date, it was the beginning of 2 stories that we've been carrying around for 40 years. I think we're going to continue quoting them and watching them too. All right, Ghostbusters and Gremlins. Who are you going to call? E.T.? Is E.T. your guess or is that the movie guess? I don't know what's happening, but it's not E.T. The extraterrestrials did not. I don't know. Is E.T. I don't know. Okay, we'll move on. All right, since we're getting to the end, why not? Why not jump into the third clue that I think might give everybody a little bit of more of a clue. There it is, the third clue. What does it say? I can't read it because I'm blind. Our mystery person designed one of the most famous homes in the world, built directly over a waterfall. I will tell you that I love this guy's work. It's an influence in some of the things that I've selected to do in the world. Nope, it's not FDR. It's not FDR or ET. All right. And we will get to the kindness compass and keep going. Let me get this music off of here. Our kindness compass, because I always like to give you guys something to walk away with. Yep, the world gets a little better when we replace assumptions with understanding. So don't forget to ask one more question. The next time you see something that frustrates you or surprises you, just say, can you tell me more about that? You might discover there's more to the story than you realize. Don't forget to verify before you amplify. Oh boy, I have gotten into that issue myself. Check out things when you get into a headline. Take 60 seconds and check your source. Listen for the experience, not just the opinion. When someone disagrees with you, just try asking what life experience might have led them to that conclusion. Assuming positive intent first. Whew, that's a good one. Not every short email means someone's angry, and not every delayed text is personal. It's hard to do that, not take things personally, absolutely. But before creating a negative story in your head, consider one, maybe there's an alternative explanation. And then revisit an assumption, something that you believed about a situation, and ask, what if that's only part of the story, right? Because growth begins when we become willing to see something differently, including ourselves. That is it. That is your kindness compass for today. And let's get back to our who's who. I can't see the comments. I want to see. I'm going to read them down. Uh-oh. Somebody jumped in. Sully, you were questioning yourself, but you were the first right one. Then Jerry Ginger jumped in with Frank Lloyd Wright. Yep. That's who we're talking about. Frank Lloyd Wright. Mr. Rogers, Ren and Stimpy. Mr. Rogers built a neighborhood, but he didn't build a building in Japan that survived a earthquake. That was kind of cool. Ren and Stimpy. Oh, Jerry, you're really pulling out the... Nope. Yep. All right. Ren and Stimpy. Well, I haven't thought about it. It's log. Anyway, Frank Lloyd Wright, obviously known for his famous rectangular design and very modern, very distinct design elements, Frank Lloyd Wright. But he wasn't simply an architect, and I thought that was the kind of cool part when I was reading about him. He was thinking about possibilities. He looked at a waterfall and imagined a home. Most people see building, he sees the environments and the structures and everything that fits together. And his work reminds us that progress often begins when someone's willing to see something differently than somebody else. Absolutely. Seeing humanities where others see disagreements, seeing people where others see labels. That's the lesson of Frank Lloyd Wright. Not Skippy the Wonder Dog. It's better than bad, it's good. You're right, it is. Jess. Love it. Okay. All right. That was my little cultured clue for today, Frank Lloyd Wright. There were some other beauties for today. Frank Lloyd Wright was a founder of Pink Floyd. Oh, no, but that's the second. Yeah, log. Jerry, that's the second Pink Floyd comment. Yeah, last week, Mike Sully was all over Sid Barrett. Frank Lloyd Wright. Got it. Oh, I love it. Good stuff. All right. Well, I know that it was, I skipped a bunch of stuff. I could go back and try to pick up some time. Or we could just hang out and talk about Log and Pink Floyd. Or what we're doing here at Mornings in the Lab Network. Of course, I always got to get a little thing. Don't forget to visit mornings.network. Just type it right into that little search bar, and you can see the website, the page that shows all the shows, where we're going, who's coming up next, what's happening. We're working on it. Love your feedback on it, too. Don't forget mornings.network. Get over to see Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. Stick with us with Brianna Bass tomorrow and all those other shows throughout the week. Cheryl Raphael Whitaker and Sarah Barnes Humphrey and the guys from What the Truck and House of Bricks are coming back this week. We are rocking and rolling on the mornings in the Lab Network, and we've got lots and lots of things going on beyond the scenes, beyond the shows. I dropped my my Calendly before. I'm dropping it again right there. I make some appointments available for people just to come in and chat with me. I want to meet people. You're out there in the community. I want to talk about what's going on in Mornings in the Lab Network. I want to know what's going on in your life, how we can work together or help each other or just get to know each other. Take a few minutes to check in. It doesn't have to be a big deal. We're all busy lives. And I love chatting with you every day, but I'd love to see your face. So come in and say hi and schedule a little time with me. I'm glad to talk about anything for a little bit. And of course, the mornings.network. All right. Well, we got through yes, all mission style. Thanks, Sully. You know what? That I gotta highlight that one. Sully, you come through for me, buddy. I appreciate it. It does. I feel so much better. That's it. I'm glad. Thank you for this space. Healthy, happy place to start your day. Tell your friends. Tell everybody. Come start the day with a little bit of hope, humanity, heart, more high fives for good times, and just having conversations. Gen X, I see people are out there. Join us. We're having fun conversation, laughing, getting together. Just starting the day on the right side of the bed as we get going with our day. I appreciate you all so much. All right, Jess. Well, it's your special day, Jess. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, I hope you're doing something fun. I hope you're celebrating you and others are celebrating you. We're celebrating you right here. So thank you all so much. All right. Let's wind it up for today. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, as we do every single day on Mornings in the Lab Network. And Kindness Rising. That's the name of my show here. That's what I do. That is what I do. All right. So today we remembered a tragedy that was shaped by confusion and uncertainty. Check out the USS Liberty information for just an interesting historical story. We celebrated an architect who taught the world to see more possibilities than others miss, and we revisited a remarkable day in 1984. Absolutely two movies that captured our imagination. And through all that runs one simple thread. The world gets better when we replace assumptions with understanding. The next person you meet is carrying a story you don't fully know. The next disagreement is going to contain information you haven't heard yet. And the next misunderstanding is going to could be prevented by just one thoughtful question. So today, choose curiosity, choose understanding, choose to look a little deeper, because kindness often begins with just seeing a little more clearly. Thank you all for joining me. I will be back 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Don't forget to get over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends. And until tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m., stay uncommon and stay kind.